Hi guys, and welcome back to Prosys OPC's YouTube channel. I'm Ivo, and in this Forge tutorial I'll show you how to connect Forge with Grafana using Prosys OPC UA Forge Grafana Plugin. With this setup you will be able to use Grafana to create dashboards based on your Forge data. This tutorial covers two approaches. First, I'll walk you through how to install the plugin in an existing Grafana instance. Then I will show you how to set it up in a Docker environment. Let's get started. So I have Forge running on my Windows PC locally, and I have also a Grafana instance running on the same computer. And to be able to install the plugin to this Grafana instance, I need to download this zip file. And to begin the installing, I will extract this file. I will do it immediately to the correct place. So I need to go to the C and then program files. I will find Grafana Labs, Grafana folder, and there I will select data and finally plugins folder. I will create a new folder called Forge Grafana, and I will select that one to be the destination of this, and I will do the extraction. Then if we check out the blog post of this tutorial, I select the zip package. We see that we need to add this row to the default init configuration file. I select copy that, then I will start Notepad with administration privileges, and then I will open the file. So I go to Grafana as previously, I go to conf, and then I will change all files so I can see this default init file. I start searching for allow load, and here it is, the row that we needed to modify. I will paste the text from the blog post, save that, and then we need to restart Grafana. After Grafana restarts, we can go to connections and add a new connection. There we will search for Prosys OPC UA Forge now, and we will add that as a new data source. Then we need to configure the address. So this is now the address for the user interface. So the port is 8080 as default. Then we need to create the API key for the Grafana. So I will go to the API key settings. I will copy the token, save that, navigate back to Grafana view, and then you can select which timestamp you would like to have returned. Then you press save and test. We get a successful test result. Then test out the query. You can go to explore view. There you will need a node ID, so you can search for example, simulation server node. And then on the right side, you can copy the node ID from this icon. And then you can select either real-time or history data. The history data will work only if you have historical buffer configured, but with the real-time data, you can use any node from Forge. Then if you want to change this range and the cycle, you can change it from here. And the cycle is default minimum 5 seconds, or you can run the query from here. If you need to lower this 5 seconds to more, you can do it from the configuration file. Then we will move on to the other approach, the Docker environment. I will first stop this Grafana instance like this, and we will lose connection. Then I will open my terminal like this, and I will use our blog post with this. So I will select the Docker image approach. First I will copy this command right here so we can fetch the image. Like that. And then if I continue, I have the docker run command right here. And this is for Windows. If you're using Linux, you can see that there's this one parameter different. But I copied the Windows docker run command and I can run that right here. And then I can navigate back to the local host 3000. And then I'm able to access the user interface. The default credentials are admin for this one. You can skip the password update. And in this Docker instance, the connector is already present, so you can go to data sources, add data source, start writing Prosys OPC UA, you will find this. Then you will need to fill http:// and this time you need to use not just localhost but host docker internal so that it binds it to the same machine that I'm running my Forge on right now. Then I will create a new API token for this. Copy the token, add that, paste it right here, select both timestamps, save and test. And again we get unsuccessful test results, so I can continue to test the explore part of it. I go to the OPC UA server, I copy node ID from there on the right side, paste it right here, and we start seeing measurements right here in the table. Then you can start creating your dashboard in the dashboard view. To recap, we covered how to deploy Grafana with Forge plugin using Docker and how to install the plugin into an existing Grafana instance. We also went through configuring the plugin to connect to your Forge instance and preparing it to query and visualize data from OPC UA nodes. With the setup complete, you are now ready to build Grafana dashboards using data pulled directly from Forge. Thanks for checking out Forge with us. If you found this video helpful, give us a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe for more content. We would love to hear your feedback, so drop us a comment below or reach out using the info in the description box. Until next time.